Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from KCRA3 and the Associated Press. Now, this is out of California. California moves to end sales of new gas-powered cars. Now, let's see what Adam Beam here has to say about this, because to me, this is complete bullshit. This is California trying to dictate to the rest of the country and virtue signaling while they're doing it. And Newsom should get bent. California will ban the sale of new gasoline-powered passenger cars and trucks in 15 years. Governor Gavin Newsom announced Wednesday, establishing a timeline in the nation's most populous state that could force U.S. automakers to shift their zero-emission efforts into overdrive. And you know what they're actually going to do? Because I'm assuming that there's nothing in this that says that you can't buy a gas-powered vehicle from out of state. Because if you say you buy a new gas-powered vehicle and then move to California, they're going to tell you can't bring your car. So what's to stop a resident from going to say, I don't know, Washington State, Oregon, New Mexico, Nevada, somewhere within reason, depending where they're located, and buying a new gas-powered car. And here they are virtue signaling, saying, we're going to basically force you people over in New Hampshire, you people in Florida, you people in all the other parts of the country to have to deal with the fact that we're going to push this electric car agenda. All right. And it might not be practical for most of you. You're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it, Buttercup. That's what Newsom and these deranged lefties are actually trying to accomplish with this. They're trying to dictate to the rest of the country. And it's like, we hear, we should get rid of the Electoral College. The Electoral College doesn't allow, doesn't stop, large cities and minority populations from dictating to the rest of the country. And then we have an example of this. You don't think if we got rid of the Electoral College, California wouldn't use their bullshit fucking lefty spurg retarded mentality, supposed logic. Mentality and supposed logic, I should say, to actually dictate to the rest of the country. Are you kidding me? They're trying to do it here. I mean, this is ridiculous. The plan won't stop people from owning gas-powered cars or selling them on the used market. But in 2035, it would end the sale of all new such vehicles in the state of nearly 40 million people. That accounts for more than 1 out of every 10 new cars sold in the U.S. So here's the thing. They got 40 million people and they claim more than a tenth of the cars in the U.S. I call bullshit on that one, number one. Number two, they're going to create a market where I'm going to go buy freaking gas-powered cars out of state. I'm then going to go and sell them used in California. And I'll be able to mark them up more. They're creating a market for that. These dumb shits don't realize what they're doing. I mean, hell, entrepreneurial people will go buy new cars. Who are bonded or licensed dealers in California will go buy new cars out of state, bring them in, and sell them as used, just to get around this. Be a good idea, too. These people are fucking idiots in California. California would be the first state with such a mandate. Well, at least 15 other countries have already made similar commitments, including Germany, France, and Norway. Yes, and the people are not fans of this there. The only people who are fans of it are these lefties who live in fucking cities and go, I take public transportation. They don't even own cars. These assholes in Europe that are pushing this shit. But you have the virtue signaling lefties here in California, all right, who think, I'll still have my chauffeured limo and I'll still have this, and I'll be able to still drive my cars and I'll find a way to get around it. I'll register my vehicle out of state. You don't think that these Hollywood elites aren't going to find a way around this shit? Bullshit. You'll see vehicles registered in Wyoming and New Hampshire and shit like that, like you've seen with people trying to get around shit. Because New Hampshire and Wyoming are 2 states where people will set up LLCs and register cars to get out of paying extra money on them and shit. VinWiki on YouTube, they've had people who've talked about it. And I've known this from living in New Hampshire, because you get a lot of massholes who will go and create an LLC in New Hampshire and then not insure a vehicle. It's usually illegals, mind you, too. And that's an actual fact, because that way they have no liability, they don't need insurance, and they can just basically walk away from the car and get away with it. They go, oh, no, you know, because they use like someone else's idea or whatever to create the LLC. And they're like, oh, I got nothing to do with this. No hablo inglés. You don't think that the Hollywood elites and other, Silicon Valley elites aren't going to find something similar to get away with, having their toys that are going to be banned? Oh, I can't have that Porsche. Fuck you. I'm going to go register it in another state. Newsom used the hood of a red electric-powered Ford Mustang Mach-E to sign an executive order directing state regulators to develop new regulations to meet the deadline. He urged Californians to pull away from the gas pumps and encouraged other states to join California for the good of the environment and public health. Hey, fuck you, asshole. All right, here's the thing. You're pushing this electric car mandate, all right? And if you actually wanted fucking clean shit, if you wanted to have, this whole environmental thing taken care of, what you would do is you would offer incentives to also convert. Instead of forcing people to buy electrics, you would offer incentives. Oh, wait, that would mean that you're enticing the market instead of dictating to them. But what you would do is you would make it so it's a fair level game for the fact of, say, hydrogen power. Because, hydrogen allows for you to convert those existing internal combustion engines to run on it, like, say, they would with, LPG, natural gas, methane, whatever, and just produce water. You get rid of your CO2 bullshit. See, this has nothing to do with the environment, because if it did, that would be a consideration. Instead of trying to force electric cars when they actually produce more fucking CO2, or in some cases just under a conventional car, because lithium mining is fucking bad. You've got all these things that are bad that are associated with electric cars. The fact that most of the energy is gotten in this country from coal. Just ignore those things, because, hey, hydrogen solves your fucking problem. You got water coming out the tailpipe. You got internal combustion engines that aren't burning gas. People can quickly refill up. It can use a standard conversion for, like, natural gas to do it. You've already got some of the infrastructure there. But no, you got to mandate electric cars, Newsom. See, this is what goes to show you. This has nothing to do with the environment. It has nothing to do with what's best for it. It has nothing to do with what's best for the American people or Californians or anyone. This is about a fucking agenda. This is about virtue signaling. Because, hydrogen's so bad. No, hydrogen is the better alternative. But they don't want to admit that, because you can't go and get brandy new electric cars, because literally you can convert all these vehicles currently running and extend their lives. So that's another thing. They go, well, electric cars are the future. Okay, but you get all this waste because you got to destroy all the old vehicles. Why not just convert them to hydrogen? They don't get this, though. They don't care about this shit. If you actually cared about those things like public health and all that, you'd be pushing to have also hydrogen as an option, instead of trying to say, I'm going to dictate to fucking Detroit, you're going to start making electric cars. If you want to reduce asthma, if you want to mitigate the rise of sea level, if you want to mitigate the loss of ice sheets around the globe, then this is the policy that other states to follow, Newsom said. No. Okay, it isn't. How is this going to reduce asthma? Because you're going to be burning more fucking coal, you dumb shit, to fucking supply all these cars. Coal's going to produce way more irritants than some fucking cars. Okay, when you're charging up those batteries. The rise of sea levels? Oh, you mean the same sea levels that fishermen in, was it North Carolina or South Carolina? When they go down to the strawberry banks on the tuna fucking show, okay? The fishermen there have been monitoring the sea levels since Al Gore first came out, all right, and said, sea levels are going to be at this level, and this here and here is going to be underwater and all that. And they have not seen any rise, and they've called out Al Gore in this. One of the fishermen actually confronted him and called him out on his shit. Now go, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, we've been measuring it every single day since you first said that. Well, I don't believe you. Well, we've documented it. Well, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, okay, rising sea levels. Fuck you, Newsom. Because I'm sorry, if they've got the same exact readings for since the 90s, so 30 some odd years, will say 30 years, fuck you. I trust them over I trust you, and I trust these other assholes of science by consensus. Because they actually monitored the data using the scientific method and collected it that way. And basically, other states to follow, asshole, you're trying to dictate what my state's going to do. Fuck you. While environmental groups cheered the announcement, the oil industry panned it, and the Automakers industry group sought a middle ground, saying it's committed to increasing zero-emissions vehicles, but through cooperation among governments and businesses, not by mandates. Yeah, because who the fuck are they to dictate what these companies make? Who are they to dictate? Okay. What consumers want. If consumers want an internal fucking combustion engine, then they should be able to buy an internal combustion engine. When it comes to their vehicle, they should be able to, if they want to pay for a car with a fucking internal combustion engine, do it. If they want to pay for a Tesla, a battery powered, do it. If they want to buy a hybrid, do it. Let the market dictate. But you see, that's the problem. The market isn't dictating the change. So these assholes like Newsom and all these other fucking shitbricks want to force consumer trends to bend to their will. They want to force companies to bend to their will. It's ridiculous. Meantime, White House spokesman Judd Deere said flatly, President Trump owns Stanford, and Larry Kudlow's Trump's economic advisor labeled it a very extreme position that he doesn't think other states will follow. Well, no, they're going to have to, because California, this is like with the carb shit, okay? The California Air Resources Board started dictating shit, and it became so costly for manufacturers that to produce two vehicles, they just started producing one to meet California's emissions. And what put the final nail on the coffin with that is when Massachusetts, which they like to do this, they adopted the carb fucking ruling, the carb shit. So now you got two states, one on either side of the country, where you got a lot of cars going through that have to meet this carb standard, so it's dictated to the rest of the country. That's what's going to happen here. So it might not be a choice with the states. They might just have to fucking comply, because California's like, well, we're a bunch of far left retarded spurgs, and because we outnumber you, we're gonna fucking dictate the auto industry, we're gonna dictate the government, we're gonna dictate this. This is the mentality they have. You don't think they know that that's what they're doing? Of course they know it. And do you think states are going to be able to stand up to that and say, oh, you can sell an internal combustion engine here? New Hampshire has 1 million people compared to California, which has way more. You think New Hampshire can say, no, fuck you, we only want internal combustion? No. We'll have to take what they produce to appease California. And I'm sure Massachusetts will jump on board with this too. Because they always tend to with this shit. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's campaign didn't comment directly on Newsom's plan. Well, of course he didn't. But spokesman Matt Hill said Biden believes electric vehicles can create good-paying union jobs, dominate a fast-growing market worldwide, and meet the demands of the climate crisis. Oh yeah, meet the demands of the climate crisis by polluting the environment, creating high levels of CO2, and releasing other toxic chemicals into the environment and into the air, mining lithium. Yes, that's real fucking green. Yeah, that'll help with the climate crisis. Tailpipe exhaust from cars, pickups, tractor-trailer rigs, and other transportation are the single largest source of air pollution, and California has by far the most cars on the road by any other state. And all they're planning on doing is making it so that coal power plants are going to be producing more of the energy and producing more pollution than those tailpipes. Real fucking smart. In 2017, the federal government said California estimated 266.5 million tons, 241.8 million metric tons of carbon dioxide from the burning of petroleum. That's about the same as the total emissions from Egypt, which has 2.5 times the population, which is a bullshit example because most of the people who live in Egypt tend to live one step up from the fucking Stone Age, okay? They are destitute. They are poor. They don't have the money to afford a car, okay? They can barely afford the fuel to cook their food. So bad fucking example. You're comparing third world to one of the tech centers of the world with the note of like Silicon Valley and all that. That's disgusting. That's a completely dishonest representation. Newsom says his order will reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 35%. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that one. Bullshit. But he stressed the benefits went beyond the environment, saying electric cars and trucks are the next big global industry and California wants to dominate it. See, that's another thing. He's doing this thinking he's going to fucking suck Elon Musk's dick and get him to keep in California because he's basically giving him an exclusive fucking market by the time 2035 rolls around. He's pissed off Elon Musk so much that I'm sure first chance he gets, he's out of California. They think that they're going to actually create industry, that they're going to create manufacturing in California. No company's going to want to go there to manufacture electric cars because of the taxes, because of everything that's going to be cost preventative to them beyond, say, property taxes, income taxes, taxes on this, taxes on that. Get a clue. California is already home to 34 electric vehicle manufacturers, including Tesla, the world's top-selling maker, and accounts for about half of all the electric vehicles sold in the U.S. And what's funny is here they are trying, look at all these electric car companies. You know where most of those supposed electric car companies are? They're mom-and-pop shops that do conversions and shit like that. Honest to God's truth. They're not actual manufacturers. They're companies that convert cars and shit like that. Do you think they're going to remain in fucking California? Or do you think when all this shit's going on and everyone's fleeing fucking California because of like the taxes and shit like that, or do you think those companies are going to move to another state? I think they might decide to move to another state. So you're not going to be the center of fucking electric car technology. You're driving people away. Some auto industry analysts warn the timeline could be too fast for technology to catch up to customers' expectations. Battery life and manufacturing costs are still issues that haven't been resolved, said IHS market principal analyst Stephanie Brindley, who studies the North and South American auto markets. Well, see, that's another thing. You're trying to force this on to people when you know the technology is not going to be practical for a lot of these people. All right, it's being put as customers' expectations. It's not the expectations. It's the fact of the practicality. Call it what it is. So you don't want to admit that they're impractical for a lot of Americans, which this could very well screw them over, okay? Because you look at a lot of Americans, all right? You still have a lot of people in this country that live in rural areas. It's not like California where you've got a fucking Tesla or third-party charger, within every couple miles or whatever, okay? It isn't like, say, around New York City or Boston or something like that where you have charging stations all around. No, these charging stations aren't that common. So you're going to force people to live in an impractical situation. Instead of saying expectations, how about you say practicality? Be honest that it's not going to meet their it's not going to be practical for them. Just be honest about it. On Tuesday, Tesla announced plans for cheaper batteries with higher energy density, but they are well into the future, she said. Yes, Tesla's been doing this shit for years. You've got Elon going, I got better batteries, I got better batteries, I got better batteries. He's been saying that shit for years, and he's never really brought a better battery to fucking market. Come on now. Jessica Caldwell, executive director of insights at Edmunds.com auto pricing site, said Newsom's announcement does seem like this is a significant shot fired. What? Does seem like this is a significant shot fired. The internal combustion engine that is likely to trigger high-level meetings at all the auto companies, which were moving towards electric vehicles, but it didn't expect a zero emissions mandate in 15 years. Well, here's the thing. There's still going to be a market for internal combustion engines. See, this is what's fucked up. You think the automakers are going to put up with this shit? When they're selling Mustangs, and when Ford's selling Mustangs and GM with Chevy is selling Corvettes, okay? And Chrysler with the Demons and all that shit. Do you honestly fucking think they're going to roll the fuck over and put up with this shit? Hell no. They honestly think that the automakers are all going to bend over. When Americans want to buy internal combustion engines, they're buying SUVs and fucking cars with honking fucking V8s. They think they're going to alienate all of their customers that want that shit, which is the majority of them, the overwhelming majority, to appease California. No, they're going to go fuck you. They'll produce a couple shit vehicles for the California market and go fuck you. That's at most what they're going to do. If the demand is there, they're not going to cuck. Because no one who wants those types of vehicles is going to buy an electric shitbox. They're not going to buy a little like Leaf type vehicle, you know, the Chevy fucking Volt. They're not going to buy something like that. And another thing it's going to do is it's going to cause the used market to artificially inflate the prices, especially in California. Because people are going to want their internal combustion engines. A Ford Motor Company said it agreed with Newsom that it is time to take action to address climate change. Oh, excuse me. I think the Ford family ought to come in and start dictating shit like, you know, Henry Ford II, Henry Ford III, Edsel, all of them. Start running shit in their own fucking company. Oh, we should address climate change. We're going to start producing vehicles that our customers don't want. I mean, yeah, news take action for climate change. Okay. But the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, which represents Ford and most other automakers, said markets can't be built with mandates and bans. And they're right. They're dead on with that one. The oil and gas industry, meanwhile, criticized Newsom for holding a news conference on Wednesday in front of nearly $200,000 worth of electric cars, as he told Californians that their reliable and affordable cars and trucks would soon be unwelcome in our state. Yeah, that's a smack to the face to them. That is a smack to the face of Californians to appease a minority group that goes, oh, the environment, electric cars, when they're not really that environmentally friendly. You'd be better off converting existing vehicles that are on the roads now to hydrogen. You already have the beginnings of the infrastructure. You have hydrogen filling stations because of like the, oh God, what's the Honda fucking hydrogen fuel cell car? And Toyota has one. But you have those in California. Expand the infrastructure. Hell, offer tax breaks to people who convert their friggin' vehicles to hydrogen. Oh no, you can't do that because that goes against your agenda of forcing electric cars down their throats. Big and bold ideas are the only better if they are affordable to all of us, said Kathy Reyes-Boyd, president of the Western States Petroleum Association. Our industry and the energy we provide will be part of any solution. Yeah, that's another thing. Because you're also going to have natural gas running power plants. You got natural gas running them. You got coal running them. So yeah, we're going green. No, you're still going to be burning fossil fuels, Newsom. Mary Nichols, chairwoman of the California Air Resources Board, tasked with writing regulations for the plan, said electric vehicles will be more affordable in 15 years and everyone will benefit from cleaner air. Oh, bullshit. How are they going to be cheaper? Because when you try to government regulate and mandate something, it always ends up way more fucking expensive. Never fails. That's what happens. So we're going to have cheap electric cars because California's saying that these companies have to be forced to make electric cars. That makes about as much sense as a fucking screen door on a submarine. Which is an old fucking trope, old fucking jokes, but hey, whatever. It's true. California already has some of the most progressive climate laws in the country, putting it at odds with the Trump administration and it is more relaxed regulatory approach to environmental policy. Yeah, and you know what's funny is California with all their environmental regulation, okay, they're going climate change, trying to blame they're being inept in dealing with these forest fires on it. When you don't see the whole western seaboard from Mexico to fucking Canada on fire, it's just California burning down because it's a shithole. I mean, this is ridiculous. The federal government has tried to end California's authority to set emission standards for cars, trucks, a move the state is fighting in court. Well, they don't exactly have the power to dictate to the other 49 states, which is what they've done. They should lose in court. Because the California Air Resources Board, okay, has dictated to the other 49 fucking states. And then Massachusetts jumped on board, and now you've got both of them dictating to the other 48, at least with CARB. So do you honestly fucking think that they should have the right to dictate what goes on in New Hampshire, in Wyoming, in Idaho, in Iowa, in the Dakotas, whether it's north or south, in the Carolinas, whether it's north or south? Virginia, Florida, Texas? Of course not. Which is what they've been doing, though. About a dozen states follow California's lead on auto emission standards that are more restrictive than federal rules. If those states follow suit on zero-emissions vehicles, it could have a huge impact on the U.S. automobile industry. Yes, and they'd be dictating, okay, dictating, a minority of states dictating to the majority of the country. Sorry. They don't have the power to do that. This is the left's mentality. They're all fucking left states for the most part. There might be some red or purple ones involved, but yeah, they're almost all blue states. If I said red, I apologize, but they're almost all blue states that are doing this shit. So yeah, California, blue state, Massachusetts, blue state, and they're dictating to the rest of the fucking country. And again, you want to be like, oh, if we get rid of the Electoral College, those blue states aren't going to dictate to the red. They're doing it now. Fuck you. Governors from many of those states appeared with Newsom at an event on Wednesday sponsored by the U.S. Climate Alliance. They praised California's move, but they gave no immediate indication they would join it. So were they social distancing? Why aren't they in their own states sitting there worrying about the shit going on in them? Oh, that's right. It's a virtue signal moment for them. We're going to be with you. The auto industry is going to be with you. As we move to zero emissions vehicles, Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont said, oh, fuck you. Ned Lamont's a fucking tool. He is such a friggin' idiot. He really is. Why isn't he in Connecticut worrying about his fucking shithole state? Have you ever been to Hartford? Have you ever been to any other fucking city? They're all fucking rundown shitholes. This whole state is a fucking festering pit of shit. And he's going, oh, zero emissions. Go back to your fucking state and worry about your constituents. Go back to your state and worry about the fact that it's a shithole. Newsom's order on Wednesday also targeted medium and heavy-duty commercial trucks, saying he wants those to be 100% zero-emissions vehicles by 2045 where feasible. And you know that they're going to dictate ridiculous shit on what's feasible. This is ridiculous shit. On the oil production side, Newsom called on the state legislature to end new fracking licenses by 2024. Fracking is a technique that allows energy companies to extract huge volumes of oil and gas from shale rock deep underground. It involves injecting high-pressure mixtures of water, sand, or gravel and chemicals into the rock. Fracking opponents say the chemicals involved threaten water supplies and public health. I love this. So they're going to stop fracking to California. All right. They're in financial deep shit, and one of the largest industries that supplies them with a tax revenue base is the fucking oil industry, oil and gas. And they're seriously going to fucking destroy the industry in their state. Where the hell are they going to get the rest of their fucking money from? They're going to destroy this. Oh my God, they're going to destroy the industry. And then they're going to wonder why they don't have any fucking money. Oh, well, they're already wondering that why now. And it's like, well, you're spending more than you're fucking taking in. Well, you're going to have even less money taken in. Do simple math, you idiots. Newsom can't claim climate leadership while handing out permits to oil companies to drill and frack, said Cassie Siegel, director of the Center of Biological Diversity Climate Law Institute. He has the power to protect Californians from oil industry's pollution and needs to use it, not to pass the buck. Well, here's the thing. Let him destroy that industry. Then you're all fucked. You're already fucked now, but you'll be even more fucked. You will be so financially screwed, it's not even funny. These people are idiots in California. They truly are. They're morons. Yeah, well, let's destroy one of the largest, employers and tax bases that we have. Yeah, real fucking smart. Yeah, call for that, you dumb shit. Anyway, yeah, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.